learned about it. livemappingdom.com. SolarWinds Pingdom. Remember we had that SolarWinds hack? I am going to share the tweet while I am talking. So this got up to 25,700 very shortly ago. And it's quite interesting. Now we can see that the numbers are dropping a bit, but the Chrome was the biggest one that has been hacked today. I don't know, are you personally using a Chrome server today? Because Chrome seems to have had issues. I am not on Chrome anymore. I am on Brave. So I wonder if, I know a lot of people in the training pit. I do teach on Mondays and Thursdays in the training pit at thedarkpools.com. So check it out. Come on over and join if you guys want to learn more about stocks, about dark pools, all that awesome stuff right there. And you will see we have been ready and prepared for this bigger drop that's potentially setting up in the market. Right, so I'm just going to put up, let's talk IWM. Whoops. We're going to do IWM today. We're going to do XLF. We will do NVIDIA had a big move today as well. And we will check all that stuff out. Let me grab the link for us. But I find that this is really interesting to see this crazy number of websites that are really being hacked, not necessarily hacked, excuse me, that are down at the moment. So let's also check out downdetector.com. So we can see a lot of the major names were being affected. FedEx as well was being affected. Let me get the chat up and running. And now we are all set right over here. And I want to show you guys something else. I want to show you, I've got to switch the screens. Hey, Terry. Yeah, you might have some issues today, it looks like, with Pingdom. That they were saying it was up to 70% earlier. I wonder if I can click on this. Another good one is also thousandeyes.com outages right there. This is another nice one to check on to see, you know, what's going on. Are you prepared for cloud data and stuff to go down? Do you have backups of everything? This shows us a little bit different view, but 49 different outages. This one doesn't look as extreme as the Pingdom SolarWinds program. So this was up to at 25,000. It looks like they are repairing them now. I wonder if we click on this. I'm just brand new to this website. So 22,000 here. I don't know if does that give me particularly just Germany? And then maybe if we go to England. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So if we go to the entire internet, it goes back up. So you can see the numbers are dropping, but I saw it up at 25,700, which is interesting that it's not showing us there the total number, even in the last hour, because that was just about 10 minutes ago. It was at 25,000. Yeah, you had some account issues. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. If you guys ever have any issues, also go to Down Detector and report them. So you can see like Steam is still having issues right here. And if you're also in another country, like they have it for Canada as well, just change it to CA. And I'm sure we will see. Oh, look at that. So it's interesting. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 banks right there. Cloudflare as well is having issues. Amazon, a lot of the big names, Amazon Web Services, TikTok, McDonald's, Google, not so much UPS, Interactive Brokers, Tangerine Bank, Interact was having issues, HSBC, another bank, interesting, American Express, YouTube. So maybe if there's an issue, it's not me. You work for a technology reseller and we have been told a fiber cut occurred and has been affected many enterprises. Okay, awesome, David. What is a fiber cut? Can you educate us on that? What is a fiber cut? Is that somebody cut a fiber optics cable? And very rarely do I have soda, but today I felt like having a soda. All right, so Looking at the week ahead, this week we did have lower numbers for existing home sales. We also had unemployment numbers. So it seems like the market is reflecting this a little bit to the downside. But honestly, the bigger dark pool prints at close yesterday are really where we see that setup come in. Consumer confidence is not doing well in Europe. And so I would be interested to see, hey, the manufacturing numbers, considering that Australia is going into lockdown again. We saw that the Russell, really, you guys have heard me talk about the Russell, really watching this box to see, are we going to be able to move in and out of it? It seems like maybe I need to move it back down here because we've actually been going all the way down to 212. So a 20-point move, and we're still within this box. Let's look at it on a weekly chart over here. See if I don't believe we haven't taken out all of last, so far. So this week, it looks a bit like we had a bounce up to the moving averages, and now we're rolling back over right on the weekly. On our 5-minute earlier time frame chart, it looks like it was an amazing short today, right? If you guys do want to sign up for my watch list, right, I do offer a watch list at cjanetrade.com, and if you use welcome, you will get 10% off. So let's roll on over to that as well over here. So SPY today is pulling back a little bit. You can see the ones that are really affected have the banks in them. The banks are weaker today. That is affecting these indexes as well. Russell is the weakest of them all, with 20% in the Russell. Again, 15% in the Dow Jones and 13% in the SPY. So it makes sense that if the banks start to be weaker, which we're seeing, right? Let's look at it on, we've got the weekly chart over here. I have the gray lines are the dark pool, right? And I did draw this little wedge, downward wedge. I would be looking for roughly a 35.20 target. Now let's put it on I'm going to flip the charts over here, 24 and 15 minute on the right. All right. So over here, we are below all of our daily moving averages. Okay, so David is saying, yes, had to be a huge internet service provider that feeds cloud providers, i.e. Amazon, Google, and others. Okay, cool. Thank you, David. Thanks for the heads up. I appreciate that. So when we look at it over here on the daily chart, right, the 24-hour chart, we are below bigger dark pool levels right here up above us. And I've got to go in and update from the 18th on to see if we had any other ones. But I believe I have most of them here. I think we did have one over here and we had one over here, but we definitely have a lot of heavier ones up above us. And we are below those. So looking for this to come back down, maybe to that 35.20 area. I'm not sure if that would happen tomorrow or over the next week. I think likely over the next week we could see that happen. But it has been quite volatile here. And we are seeing that we had some banks report, the regional banks today as well. So let's move forward. We didn't look at the Qs too much. Apple is definitely moving to the upside today, carrying the strength of the Qs. But you see it here on the 24. This could be a shoulder, a head, and then are we going to close back up above? Or if we close below close of yesterday, that is a right shoulder that is forming a potential head and shoulders on the Qs. And I would look for the neckline area right here of 358. So 358 on up to the top of the body right here of 363.70. So $5.80 I would look for to the downside. So we'd be looking back down here, roughly 352 area again, to see if we continue that move down. It's going to be interesting to see. We also have the VXX moving to the upside today. Harry, you're shorting the Williams. They're shorting the Williams. You're shorting the Russell IWM. I don't know why I put WM and Williams together. You're shorting the Russell. Nice, Terry. Glad that it is working for you today. All right. So also on my list, we saw that Amazon is bouncing today, making back some steam that we lost before. So we came down, we have a little bit of a bounce. Is this going to break out from this resistance point right here? Looks like there was a bit of selling pressure that came into it, right? If we pull it up over here, on the right hand side, we're seeing 36.22 Well, we had some selling that came in at that point. Facebook is up a bit today. Wow, DQ was really to the upside and now is to the downside today. That is a bit of a shocker to me right now. But Facebook rebounding as well. But we're seeing, I see this as well on Facebook over here, that we could be potentially hitting this test right there. So keep that on watch. Twitter is down a bit today. It was up a bit yesterday, but pulling back a little bit on the day today. We will see where we go from here. Maybe does that look like a diamond to you guys that could be forming? Looks like a bit of a, if we were to draw like this, go up like this, are we going to have that over here? And then break down. Could form. We'll have to see. I can't be too long today. I've got a student this afternoon, so I just have to be conscientious about that time frame wise. So let's check out DQ. So DQ was on the list for a potential long today, but I said, hey, if this drops below 85.20, keep it on watch for a short. Wow, totally missed that because I was teaching, but that would have been amazing. Look at that, $18 to the downside on DQ right there. Apple was on the potential list to the upward side today and definitely provided a great opportunity for that up above 146.20 all the way up to 148.20. Crocs today rocking it to the upside. Now this is lower float like GameStop. Yes, Jeff, typically it's one of the highest reversal patterns, highest percentage wise that it plays out, Jeff, but you would want to wait for the pattern to show you that it has reversed for sure. So Crocs, another one, this is lower float. It only has 65 million right here in the float, or 62 million, excuse me. So no wonder this shot up. Some shorts got squeezed and then it just lost its momentum and pulled back down to the downside. It looks like maybe there's some volume coming back into it. Maybe there'll be a bit more of a short squeeze to close it out and a little bit of a bounce. Maybe $2 to $3 bounce, maybe up here, up to 129 from where we are. Microsoft as well looks like it's setting up for a head and shoulders, or it did earlier today. It looked like we had a shoulder, a head, and potential shoulder set up, but we shot up higher. Are we going to come back down? Is there going to be Microsoft news that comes out and drops this like a rock later today in light of all of this hacking or fiber cut that is going on? That cannot be good for the tech stocks, right? And what happens if the exchanges are all electronic? Do you think the exchanges could get hacked? I think they could, right? If we can hack, I don't know how to hack, but if the Colonial Pipeline can get hacked, if the healthcare systems can get hacked, if power systems can get hacked, who's to say that the stock markets can't get hacked as well, right? And that could really affect everything. And the banks, right? The banks could go down too. So it could be a disaster. And I wonder who has all those contracts too. Is it Microsoft? Is it Amazon? We will see. Mara today, much like Bitcoin had a nice bounce to it. It's up at 32,357 right now. Just 100 above that neckline for the weekly head and shoulders. If we close this week 32,260 below that, bye Bitcoin. In my opinion, we are heading down to 4,000 to 5,000. I know a lot of people have said buy the dip. In my opinion, this is that low float of the crypto space. It could easily drop quickly if people's stops start to get taken out. So Mara is one to watch. We're hitting that moving average 15 EMA right now. We could see if we drop back below 2360, there could be a good chance this moves further to the downside. DD as well today was setting 52-week lows. There was some dark pool activity there. Is it performing as a nice short today? You bet. Nice short, down 50 cents off of almost $11 right there. So nice little short trade set up already for the day. American Airlines, next one on the list. This was hanging out right around the moving averages. A little bit came up and tested resistance, a little drop this morning. Would have been hard to capture that right in the first 15 minutes, but a little bit. Maybe this is setting up for a bigger move down. Wells Fargo today, again, another bank that's performing weakly, right? So keep that in mind. Why are the banks, these safe havens, really performing poorly? Most do not know that Amazon is the largest cloud producer by ton. Oh yeah, David, no, for sure. That's where they make all their money. They make their money with cloud computing, 100%. The retail aspect is pennies in comparison to all of the cloud serving that they do around the world, for sure. And that puts their hand in everybody's website, right? All of that data that they could potentially track even more or share if they needed. CCL as well today, pulling back down to the averages. We broke above a trend line yesterday. It was a nice bullish trade yesterday, but that momentum seems to be slowing down a bit today. And if we are not able to close above 22.75 today, I think we're going to see that Carnival is going to continue to the downside, and likely also RCLH, right? Royal Caribbean, I think will likely have the same it's NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines, right? Norwegian Cruise Lines, and RCL, I think, is Royal Caribbean. So yeah, they're just sort of reclaiming what they had yesterday. You see this nice, it looks almost like a head and shoulders, right? If we're not able to break above over here, 25.60, let's look at Royal Caribbean. So the cruise lines are being hit today, as well as the airlines. Yeah, Royal Caribbean looks like a head and shoulders that's failed. It was not able to come up here. So if we break and close below 76.47, there's a height up there, up to 79.250. So I would look for this to move to $74. All right. Let's look at AMC today. AMC also affected. AMC is that largest holding in the IWM. So even though there's 2,000 in there, when this has weakness, this will definitely pull down the index as well. Yep, let's look at TXN. So TXN today looks like it had a big drop with earnings. It was really an earnings announcement that made it drop yesterday, even though a company can have amazing earnings, right? Like Texas Instrument did. It was up 11% from their projected earnings. It does not matter. What matters is that the market is saying, hey, we don't like this in the future. And so we are going to end up dropping it right now. And that's what you have to remember, that no matter what the earnings is, it doesn't matter what happens with the earnings. Amazing, higher than expected earnings does not mean that the stock is going to perform well. It does look like potentially forming a rounded bottom, but it would need to really break out up above over here at 187. If this doesn't have a close above 187, this is going to continue down to the downside further, in my opinion. Yeah. Do you guys have any stocks that you would like to check out? Let's go over and check out my crypto list over here. Let's see which one's performing the best. XLM today, rocking it up above 25 cents. I like this to the long side. Yeah, my pleasure, Anna. So I like this to the long side. I'm happy. I would like to see that it closes up above 27. That's going to give me confidence that this would likely head on up here, up to 36 cents again, and then potentially move to the upside even further. So actually, let's look at this on just on the daily. Oops, that was on the wrong one. Let's check out the cryptos on the daily chart over here. So I would look for this to, we've been moving nicely. We bounced off of this trend line over here. That was the optimal entry back there at 20 cents, moving to the upside. All right, let's look at XRP. Actually, I don't have XRP USDT. I have everything drawn over here. So XRP is bouncing up here. The Sunshine Act meeting for today with the SEC was canceled, but we do have that Gary Gensler is speaking to the European Union SEC meetings. He is going to be speaking to the European Union on Wednesday, I think. No, maybe it's Thursday. Next Thursday. Hold on, I'm grabbing it for you guys so I can show you. July 22nd, what's the new, okay, what's new on the SEC website? So upcoming hearings and events, July 22nd, upcoming events, let's go here. So this was canceled today, but we have a closed meeting that was rescheduled. And then we have Gary Gensler speaking to the UN. I was incorrect, not the EU, but the UN, all about their agenda about climate change and its impact on global financial markets as part of the SEC regulatory agenda. So is this going to be in relation? They were talking at the G20 all about global climate change and digital currencies, right? Central bank digital currencies, cryptocurrencies. So I think that could definitely be touched upon on the 28th over here, and we'll see what's going on. These meetings, they keep getting pushed back, which is really weird, and obviously it's a closed door meeting, so maybe that has something to do with the fact that it's going to happen right after the speech with the UN. I'm not sure about that. Let's go and see if they have anything new on the press release front today from the SEC. Doesn't look like it, or maybe it's just really slow. So $3 million to a whistleblower, retailer, and former CEO charges a multi-million-dollar fraud involving 2 companies, but that was on the 19th. So this is Aaron Grovel of Jacksonville with Semtrex and Teledyne. Interesting. All right. So those have to do with other meetings and stuff. So Stephen, what would you tell us about your watch list? Yeah, I'll show it to you, Stephen. You ask and you shall receive. Take just a second while it pops up. Or not, depending on the computer and how it wants to work today. Right? There we go. It's loading. So here we have XRP. I'd like to see XRP break back up above 60 and then really continue to move to the upside right there. Algo today moving to the upside as well. It's pretty hard. XDC is the only one on my longer term crypto list that is not moving to the upside. But we have a nice 3.5% gain off of that 425 exponential moving average right here. And we already looked at XRP Cardano off of the 105 bounce that we had back here. It's continuing to move up, but I'd like to see this up above 123. I know I was waiting for it to load, Stephen. So here it is right here. So if you go to cjanetrade.com and then you type in welcome when you go to subscribe, whether it's I offer it monthly, 3 months, 6 months, and a year, up to you. Obviously, the longer you subscribe, the more you save. And it's right here. So I do have all of this that I lay out for you every day. And that's what I was reviewing today, are those trades. So you're able to see, hey, AMC, if it dropped below 40.20, that's a potential short. Microsoft today, if it went up above 284.50, potential long. Apple as well, up above 146.20, potential long. And then the amount of shares in the float so that you know, hey, Crocs has 62.9 million in it. It just had earnings, and you know that it's going to be volatile today. So yeah, that's where you would find all that information. IOTA today is another one on my list. Look at that volume today. Lots of volume coming into it. It's taken out yesterday's candle and potential move further to the upside. Doge as well had the bounce off of 16 cents right over here, and also a trend line. So I drew it off of the trends from the upper bounds right here, and it was holding up above. It was wavering, and then finally it seems like support came in around that 17-cent mark. Maybe we are going to see this move up further. Bitcoin is definitely moving to the upside at the moment. If we start to see that Bitcoin pulls back, we could see that we are likely going to have a bigger move to the downside as well for the rest of the crypto space, right? So Bitcoin right now that's interesting. I put it on Coinbase and it's just, well, maybe it has to do with the USD tether. That's when they first had it there. Hold on, let's go over here to my crypto list. Better setup over here. There we go. We can see the big picture. And if we look at it on the weekly, we're going to have to wait and see, because we do have this 32,250. It's just hovering up above it. But if we break back down below it, then we could see a bigger move back down to the downside for Bitcoin over here. So thank you guys for joining me. I know it's a bit later today. Hope you had an amazing trading day. I will see you all tomorrow afternoon. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time. If you all ever have any questions and you want to reach out to me, hold on 2 seconds. I will pull up these are my official handles right here. I am not on Facebook anymore. So I've also found a lot of scammers on Instagram. So please be careful. It's Miss Airplane Jane there. And also on Twitter, please be careful there. But Jane at CJane Trade if you ever want to send me an email. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Carpe Profit, seize those profits one trade at a time.